The Emu War. How emus defeated the Australian army. Okay, yes, we know, haha, funny, he's Australian. Yes, we'll watch the emu video. How was Balatro? It's okay. It's okay, it's good, I guess. I don't think it was Game of the Year contender, but, like, I might go back and play more of it at some point. It's just, it's not clicking with me. It really just wasn't clicking with me. Anyway, I've never paid this much attention to an emu, by the way. I didn't realize, like, you could just see their skin right there. And, like, this guy's been, like, smacking his head into the ground a bunch. I am also Australian and don't get the emu wars. Basically, farmers didn't like... Was it farmers didn't like how many emus there were? I don't remember the details. I guess we're going to find out the details. So let's learn more about the emu wars and how emus defeated the Australian army.
Emus versus humans. Who would win that fight? This is a question we no longer have to ask because we know the answer. In 1932...
And yes, for any of the Americans listening, it is emu, not emu. I have heard people say emu so many times. Brodie, you're gonna watch the ball merging vid tonight. We'll see where we're at. I can't stick around much after my normal finish time. So we'll see in a little bit. Anyway. Emus, not emu.
20,000 emus took on the Australian military. The result bathed these birds in eternal...
The hell? I didn't know they could do that with their neck. I wish I could do that with my neck. You know, you could have a lot of you do a lot of things you can do with your neck like that.
Eternal glory. This is the Emu War.
Emus!
Hi, I'm Danielle Dufault, and you're watching Animal Logic. The Emu
Hi.
War of 1932 is one of the most glorious moments in avian military history.
Are there many of those moments? How many other moments are in avian military history? Wait, didn't the US... I feel like the US did like a giant culling of pigeons at one point. Yeah. Wait, no, that's a different thing. I'm pretty sure there's a country that's done like giant pigeon cullings before.
Tag crew of tens of thousands of flightless birds took on Australian World War I veterans and waged a war of attrition that concluded in human retreat. But how did it get to that? Let's start with the antebellum period.
Okay.
Emus and their ancestors have inhabited Australia.
This is just a picture of generic Australia.
Antebellum period.
This is anywhere in Australia.
Emus and their ancestors have inhabited Australia for millions of years. They
Giant
live across
chickens.
the country, but in Western Australia, they congregate in large groups that migrate from the outback to the coast for the breeding season. Emus are one of the largest birds in the world. They can be close to 2
Are they bigger than ostriches? I actually don't know.
meters tall and
You gonna
weigh up
mention
to
that?
70 kilograms.
Ah.
They're the third tallest avian species after the 2 African ostrich
There we go. Just keep watching the video. Keep watching the video and she'll explain it.
species. They're also the 5th heaviest bird, after the ostriches and the northern and southern cassowaries, also from Australia.
Ah, right. Cassowaries as well. Yeah, that makes sense.
On the human side, Western Australia has been populated for tens of thousands of years. But during the early 20th century, the population exploded following the construction of railways that connected it to the rest of Australia.
I wouldn't call it exploded. No one lives in Western Australia, but I guess exploded relative to where it was.
Population went from 40,000 in 1890 to 400,000 in 1930. Wheat farming was a key.
I love how... I guess it is exploded, but again, this, just for context, this part of the country here, this is Western Australia. All of this right here is Western Australia. It's not that many people.
Population and economic boom, with most of it being exported. But after the Great Depression of 1929, the markets collapsed. People stopped buying their wheat, and farmers started to really suffer financially. At the same time, a drought caused a larger than usual emu migration, and the wheat fields were right on their path. You might have seen signs that tell you not to feed wild birds because it disrupts their migration patterns. This is exactly what happened in Western Australia.
Oh.
Once the emus found all of this delicious wheat and water reservoirs, there was no reason for them to keep moving.
What the fuck? Wait, I've never seen this picture before. All right.
Hey everyone, we have exciting news. We're thrilled to announce the release of Animalogic's very first book,
Woo!
Strange Creatures.
Sponsored by yourself.
This book dives into the most incredible animals we've ever featured on the show, with each chapter packed with my illustrations and stunning full-color images. It's a fun and engaging way to
Thank you for the biddies, appreciate it. That reaction was gold. I'm just making noise.
Perfect tool to spark kids' interest
But
in
appreciate
science.
the biddies.
Each chapter breaks down an animal's biology, behavior, and all the coolest facts you need to know about these
That is really cool art.
fascinating creatures. Animalogic's Strange Creatures is a must-have addition to your own library, or the perfect gift for an animal lover this upcoming holiday season.
Click the link in the description to check it out. And if you can, order a copy. It would mean the world. Thank you so much, and I hope that you love the book.
That's cool. You know, I like when people can be sponsored by themselves. That's always nice.
The emus started going into the farms and eating to their heart's content. But they have pretty huge hearts, and the 20,000 of them quickly started destroying farms. Emus never skip leg day, and it was easy for them to knock down fences. This caused the additional damage of letting rabbits and other animals into the farms, which quickly turned them into dust. Many of the farmers were World War I veterans who'd been given farmland after the war. They were enduring great financial hardship due to the global recession that had tanked wheat exports, while the government had failed to provide...
Yeah, why would I skip the self-promo? If I'm going to watch a video, I'm going to watch their ad.
subsidies. They needed to get rid of the emus as soon as possible. And since they had fought in the trenches, they thought they knew the best way to get rid of their adversaries. Machine guns.
That usually does it.
They helped defeat the great German and Austrian armies, so there's no way they wouldn't defeat their oversized bin chickens. Right? Right? The farmers petitioned the federal government to help them. They asked the government to send machine gun specialists to deal with the rascally emus. The plan was that the farmers would pay for the food, bullets, and accommodation, while the state government of Western Australia would pay for the transportation of soldiers and equipment.
Right.
From the federal government's point of view, this was basically a free operation that could serve as target practice for the soldiers. And so, the soldiers prepared for battle and went on their merry way all the way to the wheat fields of Western Australia. What they didn't know was that the emus were already prepared. They had been prepared for thousands of years. Emus emerged at a time when Australia
That thing is fucking terrifying.
was packed with carnivores, like the 7-meter-long Megalania, the jaguar-sized Thylaco leo, also known as the marsupial lion, Quincana, a croc with the gait and speed of a Komodo dragon, and the Wonambi, a constrictor snake bigger than the largest living anacondas.
Fuck that.
And not only did the emus survive among these natural-born killers, they outlived them. So the emu
So, whilst those, were a thing then, there are still giant, terrifying lizards that live in Australia. People talk about, like, snakes and stuff like that. No one talks about goannas. Have you ever seen this thing? Like, this thing thinks it's a fucking blue-tongue lizard. It thinks it's some little lizard you're not gonna care about. Let me just find how big they can get. They can grow over 2.5 meters or 8.2 feet.
emus had a very simple and effective strategy. In the words of the great poet, oversimplified,
How do you deal with giant lizards? You stay the fuck away from it. If that came to your house, how do you deal with it? Don't let it in your house is the first step. If it gets in the house, buy a new house.
the emus said, "When they approach us, we run away." But still, none of these predators had machine guns, as far as we know. What kind of challenge would a couple of primates with boomsticks mount? The first battle took place in early November 1932. The soldiers approached a group of about 50 emus, and once they were within firing range, they unleashed their World War I Lewis guns.
And
The
none of
emus
them
did
were
what
hunters
they've
and
been
knew how to
doing for
shoot.
thousands of
They knew how to hit a
years.
bird.
And at the first shot, they scrammed and scattered in all directions.
Yeah.
To defend themselves from these killers, emus developed powerful legs for kicking their opponents, but also to sprint away from danger. Emus can run at speeds of up to 50 kilometers an hour.
I knew they were fast. That 50 okay, kilometers per hour to miles per hour. That is 31 miles per hour for any of the Americans.
Fast enough to cover 3 football fields in 20 seconds. They also have a thick plumage to protect them and conceal their most sensitive areas. Within seconds, they were all out of the machine gun's range. Only a few emus were felled, while the army wasted hundreds of bullets. Round 1. Advantage: birds. For the next couple of weeks, the soldiers kept the same strategy, but the emus kept thwarting their attempts due to their speed, agility, their ability to escape into rugged terrain, and an outstanding resilience to bullets.
These people are fucking
Emus
stupid.
are naturally skittish and run away at the first sight of danger. Their height and great vision helps them spot danger from large distances. And their travel groups keep eyes on all directions, scanning for danger. On one occasion, the soldiers tracked a group of 1,000 emus. But
And they
once
killed 7 of them.
opened fire, the emus did what they always do and left the soldiers in the dust. Just about 25 emus were killed that day.
How are you that stupid? How do you have 1,000 of them and you kill 25? Were they just standing all on one side? Were they not trying to, like, get around the emus? Jesus Christ.
The Emu Central Command reacted to this attack by canceling all large congregations. The soldiers would have to pick off hundreds of smaller groups. The emus officially entered the age of guerrilla warfare. Just like in other guerrilla wars, the emus were outgunned, but they had terrain and chaos on their side. They endured attacks from machine guns strapped to trucks, which couldn't drive as fast as the emus could run on uneven ground, and made aiming almost impossible.
Like,
there was even a report.
Sure, like, how, I don't understand. I really just don't understand. I don't understand how you are this bad with guns. And, like, when you're a fucking World War I veteran, that you can't, that you kill 25 birds when there's 1,000 of them.
Of an emu who got run over by the truck, but its body got stuck in one of the front wheels, making the truck lose control and crash into a tree.
We have emu suicide bombers.
Of an emu who got run over by the truck, but its body got stuck in one of the front wheels, making the truck lose control and crash into a tree. They literally had kamikaze attacks.
She made the same joke. Jesus fucking Christ.
After a brief interruption due to pressures from the media and the general public, the war continued until the government put a final stop to it. By then, the soldiers had used close to 10,000 bullets and killed under 1,000 emus.
That's impressive in its own right.
The operation was too expensive and was considered
to send this guy out here, just fucking strangle him.
too inhumane a way to control emu populations. The issue had reached such farcical levels in Australian politics that a member of parliament mockingly pondered if the soldiers involved in the Emu War should be given a medal. To which another member responded that if anything, the medal should go to the emus.
Do you know what they actually should have done? Let me explain to you the actual way that you do this. You pay the hunters to go kill the emus. That's how you do it. You don't send the military. You pay the hunters per head. Because people eat emu. Like, emu meat is like a thing people will actually eat. So you get the hunters out there who know how to actually kill a bird. And then you kill the birds. Now, actually, this has been done in another way. I think was it Florida? No. I think it was India. A country that has really bad python problems. People started farming pythons and then selling them to the government. So you want to stop it before that happens. But if you do it like based on adult emus, it takes a while for an emu to become an adult. So if someone was farming them, like, you're gonna hopefully catch them before they start doing that. But like, the hunters know how to kill the birds, and you kill a lot more than 1,000 of them. Why do they not plant bear traps in the direction the emus go when they escape the guns? Oh, that's a good question. Because they're military guys, they're not hunters. That's probably why. It's also really interesting how cane toads were introduced to Australia. Yeah, to eat the cane beetle. Yeah. Which was introduced to do something else, I believe. Australia likes to introduce animals to eat other animals, and then it goes really badly. Every time.
That was the final military involvement in the farmers' conflict with the emus. But not the end of the war on the bird. In the following years, a bounty system proved more effective than machine
Yeah, but they already did it, I guess.
guns. This was just another of the many conflicts where humans settle in an animal's habitat and then get mad when the wildlife is still around and tries to use the available resources
No, I'll be
to
heading off in just a
survive.
sec.
And just like that, with emu egg on their face, the military ended their operations. In this case, better fencing and population management led to a relatively happy ending. Emus are still abundant, and Australians, legend has it, are also still kicking.
True. That is really
So
good.
what should we talk about next? Please let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for new episodes every week. Thanks for watching. See ya!
That was a really good video. I like that. I've never seen this channel before. What else do they have on here? Oh, that was just released. Moodang. We love Moodang. How squirting cucumbers spread their seed. Aha. Mule Deer the Antler King? Okay, I like this. This is a cool channel. Might have to check out some of their stuff at some point in the future.